Good afternoon, Colin here with Techout, and today I'm going to be doing a video on the S23 Ultra, the 1 month review, and I'm going to be combining this with a video that I was actually going to do a few weeks ago about an iPhone user switching to the S23 Ultra, or Android in general. And I actually started that video, like I said, a couple weeks ago, but my camera died mid-recording, and I just never went back and finished it, so I figured I would kind of do a 2-for-1 because they're very much related. So, iPhone 14 Pro Max right here, Galaxy S23 Ultra right here. I've been using this since it came out a month ago. It's currently March 15th. I got the phone on February 17th, so we're a couple days away from a month exactly. I have not used my iPhone 14 Pro Max or any iOS device in general since December. December 17th was when I got my S22 Ultra, which I had bought and planned to trade in for the S23 Ultra, which turned out to kind of bite me in the butt because the trade-ins sucked this year. We did not get the value that we usually do. Usually we get between 800 and 1,000, 700 and 1,000 for a flagship device like an S22 to an S23 Ultra. This year it was $500. So I ended up selling it private party on eBay. Ended up working out just fine. I got a couple $100 more. But that being said, here's the S23 Ultra. This phone is miles better than the 22 Ultra. I love the 22 Ultra. I love the screen. I love the S Pen. I don't use the S Pen every day, but it just being there and knowing that I can pull it out, I can take a note on the screen, which I've done before. If I'm about to go to bed or something, and I want to remember something, to do in the morning that I need to grab before I leave the house or whatever it might be, I love being able to just write it down on the screen and set it on the always on display. That way when I get up and grab my phone, it's right there, and I don't have to worry about forgetting it. And also it helps you fall asleep. You're not trying to remember all this stuff for the next day, all that kind of stuff. So I love that feature. You don't have to go into the phone. You don't have to open up an app. You literally just pull out the pen and write on the screen. So that is, that's one of my favorite features about the Ultra lineup right now, and the previous Note versions and stuff like that, is the S Pen and the large screen. Now on my S22 Ultra, battery life was not there. There were some things I hated about the S22 Ultra that I loved about the iPhone that kept me going back to the iPhone, and one of those things was battery life. Performance on the iPhone is better, but the S23 Ultra just fixes all those. And I'm not even going to say the S23 Ultra because the S23 line in general, whether you get the regular one, the Plus, the Ultra, across the board it is fixed from the previous S21, S22 series phones. Battery life is miles better with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. Performance is better with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. The phone runs much cooler with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. So the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 has fixed a lot of the gripes that people had about this device before. And that being said, there's no Exynos version of the S23s. So if you're, doesn't matter where you are in the world, you get the Snapdragon version, which is awesome. I've said this before in previous videos of the S23 Ultra. If you have a 22, it is worth an upgrade, in my opinion, just for all the fixes like battery life and performance and all that alone. If you can sell your S22 Ultra and pay a few $100 for this, I think it's worth the upgrade. I would say don't keep your S22 and stick it out for a couple years and then have to pay more out of pocket for a 23 or whatever the model may be. I would say just do it now and keep the S23 for a few years, because the S23 day-to-day performance is much better. You're going to have better, overall experience on the 23 than you do the 21 or the 22. So while the upgrade might not be that big, physically, performance and day-to-day usage, I think alone is worth it. Because battery life on this phone, I can get a day and a half easy out of this phone. If I'm not going crazy, day and a half, 2 days before I have to worry about plugging it in. If I'm going crazy, it still easily gets me throughout the full day, but I just plug it in at night just so I have another full day the next day. But no problems getting through the day, doesn't matter what I'm doing. It's currently 3:51 and we're at 82%, and I've basically been on my phone all day. Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, all that kind of stuff. All the apps that use Wi-Fi and 5G and all that kind of stuff, that's what I'm using. Battery life is not an issue whatsoever. So that is amazing. I love One UI 5.1. I love the widgets and stuff like that. I've got my battery widget, and I've got my Buds Pro widget right there. The battery widget on 5.1 is awesome because you can see everything right there. The battery life on this phone is so good, and that I don't have to worry about it, that I actually took the battery percentage out of the status bar just to clean that up a little bit. I don't have to constantly check the battery, so I don't even need that up there. I just have the little icon right there, just so I can glance at it. But I don't even leave it on that. I just leave it on my Buds 2 Pro controller right there, so I can, control that. But solid phone. I know there's some issues that people are out there complaining about, like with the screen and stuff like that. I made a video on that. I haven't had the, I can see it down there if I'm looking at it right, but I don't consider it an issue because you have to have the phone like upside down, looking at it at an angle and squinting and all this kind of stuff to see it. So not something I'm worried about whatsoever. It's not like something that's going to affect the phone more down the down the line or as it ages. It's just how it's manufactured according to Samsung. Which I think is probably the case. I don't think they're lying about that. So not worried about that. iPhone 14 Pro Max, still great battery life, but the S23 has made me switch to Android. I've got the Watch 5 Pro LTE model right there. Samsung had not Samsung, but T-Mobile had a deal on it where it's 50% off via 24-month bill credits. So I went ahead and picked one of those up. I've got the Galaxy Buds 2 Pro, as you can see right there, and I've got a Tab S8 Ultra. So I got rid of my iPad. I still have my my iPhone and my Apple Watch, obviously, but like I said, I have not used them since since December, and it's going on the middle of March right now. So I don't really miss it. I like the iPhone. I don't mind iOS, but all the stuff that was making me switch back to the iPhone from Samsung or from most Android devices has been fixed with Android 13 and with the hardware on the S23 Ultra. I've also got a OnePlus 11 Pro, which is going to be a different video, but I love that phone as well. Very smooth performance, excellent battery life, super quick charging, all that kind of stuff. Both amazing devices, but the S23 Ultra is going to be my go-to, like I said, because of the S Pen and the screen and that kind of stuff. But that is that. I don't want to waste too much of you guys' time rambling back and forth about, that, but I'm just going to say the S23 has gotten me to switch to Android. Basically, this is the longest consecutive time I've been on Android since having an Android device. And you guys know that I review phones and stuff like that. I make videos on this kind of stuff. I've had Galaxies all the way back to the S8, pretty much every model since then, but I always sell them, or I always go back to my iPhone and then sell them, later on. But iPhone's been in the drawer for months now, and I haven't. It's it's actually dead right now. I turn it on every once in a while to update it because it has the beta on it. But other than that, it literally sits in the drawer dead. So that is that. I've been on the iPhone since the iPhone 4S, and I'm finally trying out something new, and I'm very happy with this phone. So that's kind of my 1 month review of the S23 Ultra, as well as iPhone user switches to Galaxy, all in one video. I'm Colin with Techout. If you guys have any questions, leave them down in the comments section below. I know you guys are going to ask as well. Wallpaper is just the default Samsung wallpaper, and the case is the Poetic Spartan. I have a video on the Poetic case lineup. If you want to check that out, it is on my channel, as well as this case right here on the iPhone is the Muo, however you want to say that, leather case with the card slot. Again, video is on the channel of that. Of this case, if you want to check out either one of those. Like I said, Colin with Techout. Don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe. And as always, have a great day.